you haven't used in a while and you have tap jump on. I mean, it's happened. It's happened. And when you're in that middle of the set, when you realize that your shield's on the wrong button, I mean, but again, we're not dealing with amateurs here. So game one on Town and City between Venia and BlazingPasta. BlazingPasta with a strong start with a down throw from Ness, which tacks on a bunch of damage, but Venia's on his tail already.
Yeah, Venia, no stranger to Greninja at all. Been playing Greninja, I feel like almost exclusively, and has had very great prowess. He has a lot of the conversions down, a lot of the twit. Oh my goodness, please.
3 up airs.
Ooh.
We almost had a Shadow Sneak at the top of the blast zone in Town and City, which could have spelled disaster for BlazingPasta, but, we do see a jab lock and barely missed it with the baseball bat. BlazingPasta must be kicking himself for that because that could have been not an early stock, but at least a lot of damage tacked on.
Yeah, we're trying to go for the Pablo Sanchez home run. Unfortunately, the spacing was just a little bit off, and that's going to be a strike. But Venia still doing his best to pretty much juggle BlazingPasta as best as he can. The amount of up airs that he's already gotten with this match in just game one in this first stock alone is uncanny.
Yeah, it's something where you're considering how floaty Ness is and also how low to the ground and fast Greninja can move through the ground that, BlazingPasta might have his work cut out for him.
Now we're seeing Venia's fishing for that final blow, spacing these forward airs on shield. Really hard for Ness to deal with his stubby arms. But it's only a matter of time before Venia gets his kill. But as I say that, wow!
The rage wasn't enough.
Not quite enough. Maybe needed like 10 more %.
Yeah, Ness back throw being the hallmark of all tilting moves.
Every game.
Extreme, just screen-like distance that it sends you. Something that many people just kind of don't think should be appropriate for a grab, but Venia also has his own with up air.
Oh, and the big Nog is going to get the
I mean.
first stock. Yeah, and it's crazy how grimy Greninja's pivot grab can be. You saw he whiffed that first grab, immediately pivot grab, was able to snatch his toes.
Yeah, Ness's big noggin. I mean, if you've ever seen the hitbox visualization on that, it is pretty funny. Hydro Pump missing.
Ooh, okay, jab, trying to get the grab. They're going to find it, a double jump.
Knockback too high, 156, but finally forward air closes it out.
Yeah, and I was already surprised he was able to survive that up smash at like 130 or 40 something, but Greninja's kill potency, not necessarily the best in the game.
Exactly. There is a lot of setup considered that, Venia has to look for. And so while many players might tout that as like extra time needed, it's something that Venia takes advantage of by, keeping you on your toes the entire time. And BlazingPasta showing us what that could have turned into. But again, canceling it into the platform so he doesn't have to, stay in that recovery after PK Thunder 2.
All right, and manages to respond with
double
a double
up air after
air.
the air dodge read. And again, similar to Sinji and AR Hungry, Venia is the favorite to win it, but BlazingPasta is putting up such a fight.
All right, Venia's going to get that perfect shield on that, immediately dashes forward and gets that punch, pushes him away.
Oh, Hydro Pump, but BlazingPasta's adaptation PK Thunder 2 right into Venia, but he's lucky that it wasn't on the left side of the stage, and back throw closes out that first game.
Man, that back throw has me
This is
scratching
such
my
a
head.
choice interaction. We see Hydro Pump pushing him off into a situation some people would call gimped, but he goes right into Venia. Had it been on the other side, that would have been the stock, but BlazingPasta took it anyways with a failed nair into back throw.
Yeah, and just looking at when he got that back throw on the first stock and he didn't die, he had so much more %. And I just look at him and say, wow, your DI must have not been nearly as good as it was the first time.
There's also rage at play, and he had not staled it. So again, there's just so much to keep track of in this game, and that's why many players from other fighting games or other platformers, note how much you have to keep track of in a Smash game versus just like 2D, looking at each other, can't cross each other up, as easily, can't jump, and there's no stage dynamics. I mean, there's so much. When combos start being viable at certain percents versus when yours stop, being viable, and that awareness 3.5 years into the game, both of these players are exemplary of it.
Yeah, and one thing about Smash in general, especially now since there's no more patches, as opposed to a game that constantly gets bounce patches and updates, etc., you have time to watch the metagame develop. You get to sit down and understand that this is going to work 99% of the time, but every time there's a patch, every time there's an update, that means it's going to be something else for you to learn. You have to reevaluate everything you already know.
Yeah, having to be on your toes because of the new development patches obviously keeps the meta fresh, but now that it's had so much time for optimization, you know, going against someone who mains Ganon, even in this stages of the game, can be something that just shambles your career if you're not prepared.
And speaking of, right, Greninja was one of the few that got torn apart because of that, right? You know, better nerf Greninja. That used to be
number
the
one
one meme. But now, despite all the hardship and oppression that this poor frog has endured, Venia has stuck with it almost.
The first hit of Fair sending Venia back, and BlazingPasta having all the time to recover, but the Gimp from Hydro Pump sending him into a less than desirable position, unable to repeat what he did to, preceding the end of game 1. It's just sometimes the Hydro Pump, like even to this day, it is almost not fully understood how much it can send you with those almost like Windbox-esque parameters. I mean, it's just so weird. Sometimes because of the acceleration you're undergoing, Hydro Pump can send you into the bubble in the ceiling. Other times it sends you under the stage, through the stage. It's just, sometimes it's just wild, honestly.
It's a ridiculous move, right? Like, similar to the Flood in that aspect, right? You push the opponent, but because of how you can angle it, you'll be flying in weird directions. And we're seeing that Venia was able to make great use of that. And as you said, the first time we saw that BlazingPasta was able to recover, but he was like kind of awkwardly half in the bubble and half not. You couldn't really see the trail. Couldn't get himself to hit him.
Yeah, and the ability to sort of aim that trail, it can't make such tight turns. It still has to go in an arc, and unfortunately for BlazingPasta, he wasn't able to close it out. But he did take his first stock with a nice back air at ledge, and we're now seeing Venia with full confidence at a nest at 102, which again, Rage is now online, and it's only going to get worse as Venia is unable to kill BlazingPasta.
Yeah, he's going to keep trying to tack on that damage, but it is a double-edged sword in that sense. The more potent Ness becomes, the more damage he has, that backer becomes ever so highly something to fear. But we're going to see if Venia is able to close it out before he has to really worry about it.
Yeah, and that low profile definitely playing to his advantage. Crouching and spot dodging the PK Fire and closing out with the forward air disjointed water katana, water sword, water dagger. It's not a dagger, but water sharp thing. Very
Aqua Blades.
Yeah,
right?
The Aqua Blade definitely.
Aqua Edge, I think it's called in Pokemon. Whatever, right? It's a water sword.
Flame us.
Please.
But, it's something that, again, like, as Greninja, the confirms don't just come out easy, and especially on a floaty character like Ness, Venia adapted and showed us that, on Battlefield, at least on that game, too, he was confident. He was confident. But now we got Smashville, so 3 stages featured in this set already. Town and City, Battlefield, and now Smashville. I mean, we might be at home here, but we're likely going to see why BlazingPasta chose this stage above the rest.
And one thing to note is that we've been seeing how Venia makes use of these falling forward airs onto BlazingPasta the entire set thus far, right? He falls, spaces it in a way that makes it hard to deal with, and if he hits it, great, I'll go for a follow-up. If not, it does a surprising amount of shield damage. So he's able to actually force BlazingPasta to get to scenarios where he doesn't want to shield anymore because he knows he's going to get poked, and he's able to capitalize off of that as well.
Especially catching these landings with up tilt, that tongue coming out. No apologies, and the landing that Ness has to think about is challenged every single time. Venia making it exciting on the edge here. I mean, with Hydro Pump, PK Thunder 2, like anything can honestly happen.
Venia hunting down BlazingPasta, trying to space it out. Seems a little confused as to how to get in. Running in,
be
shielding.
Careful.
That nair, nice.
78 to the yo-yo. That is definitely upsetting, but responding with a forward smash himself, Venia ties it up, now 0 apiece.
Hold it down. I like that empty hop, looking to bait Venia into doing a move down for a forward air
Start the
change.
combo.
Ooh.
Glorious DI on Venia's part, up and away, falling out of Ness's grab from the very damaging chains that he can pull off, especially on someone like Greninja. Jab block avoided by the tech that Venia put.
Fair once again, catches him landing, tries to dash forward, get the grab. Venia not going to give it to him, rolls behind him, and is trying to find an opening, but that head pushes so far on shield.
Yeah, we did see the beginning of this match beginning with Venia in the advantage, but now sitting at almost 100%, now 107. He's going to be, definitely looking out for that up air and back throw. Oh,
wow. That was the most delayed, solemn kill I've seen in Smash.
I don't know that I heard Greninja's
he didn't scream,
star
right?
KO.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it's like a, like, that was awful.
It's okay.
It's like a weird, like muffled shriek, because it's like a Pokemon noise.
Right. You know, they just, I don't even, how do they even make those noises, I wonder? Like, throw a bunch of synths together and just make sounds, I swear. But whatever reason, he has like a silent star KO.
And again, Sinji versus AR Hungry, Sinji the favorite. Venia versus BlazingPasta, Venia the favorite. But he's potentially on his tournament game here. I mean, with Battlefield now in play, this is the stage that Venia won on. But again,
oh my goodness.
BlazingPasta, you know, he could be in here for a wild ride.
Yeah, it looks like Venia is actually trying to slow it down a little bit. We're seeing him just kind of space with forward air, throw these water shurikens, and just take his time, forcing BlazingPasta to run toward him. And it seems to simplify the game for him a lot, right? He's like, all right, he's running toward me, I can run away, do it, rinse, repeat until I find my success. Yeah, and these platforms definitely coming to his aid, having more time to land and more obstacles for Ness to sort of maneuver around. Venia completely comfortable here. 79, unable to get the up smash. A tipper on those blades. Of course, it has such a finicky hitbox, and you know, Ness was able to just float just beyond its hitbox. Look at the safe, patient play from Venia. Finally gets punished for it by doing an unsafe dash attack. But yeah, and BlazingPasta is taking note of Venia's approaches and just grabbing him in the face, and now sending him off stage at 69%, 76, now juggling him. Venia recovers, but unable to get to the main stage. He's now potentially putting BlazingPasta out off the stage with the up smash. It again doesn't meet its mark, nor the forward smash. Great patience on Venia, or sorry, on BlazingPasta, not scare dodging, but of course being off stage now, Hydro Pump is a threat. And we see BlazingPasta not make it. Had it been Lucas, who had a little bit more of a distance on his PK Thunder 2, he would have survived, but alas, Ness falls his first demise here, and BlazingPasta is looking at having to close out Greninja on Battlefield at 87% now. Man, you have to give credit to BlazingPasta for even being able to finesse that angle after that hard pump. Didn't quite make it, but was this close. And the PK Thunder was, you know, out of range, like it was out of shot. Right. So again, that awareness, you know, these are players who have played these characters for tens of hundreds, if not thousands of hours, and that shows with such, you know, skill and ability to understand where their moves end up, even if they can't see them visually. Yeah, they're feeling right at home, and we're seeing Venia take once again to what we saw him do in the beginning of the first stock for BlazingPasta, sitting back, throwing his water shurikens, spacing these fairs, and he's realizing that it's become very difficult, but one overcommitment is the same thing that happened last time to give BlazingPasta this opening. Yeah, that failed nair on BlazingPasta was punished by a grab, so Venia is definitely going to have to watch out for that a little bit more, but we do see BlazingPasta getting something started. Shadow Sneak getting him out of the combo, back to stage, but we are looking at potentially a tied game here. Oh my Just out of the forward smash in the armpit of Greninja. BlazingPasta escapes fate, and 65-42 now we're potentially looking at Venia's last game. If he's not able to close it out, Shadow Sneak looking at the wrong side. Oh, what a heartbreak here for BlazingPasta, having your character's intended moves not work how you intend them to come out. It's just got to be so frustrating, but he's keeping his composure. He's maintaining neutral game. BlazingPasta is getting something started, and he was not able to get the forward smash. Okay. Up air, very high up there, gonna get the star KO on a Ness this time around. A very good find from Venia, just fishing for that one moment to optimize his kill off the top. Because we know Greninja can have trouble killing, and especially on a big stage like Battlefield, that was optimal. Yeah, we saw BlazingPasta sit in his chair back after that, realizing, you know, that's what happens up there, right? Up there with Greninja, you can get clipped by up air to the point where, you know, you're dying earlier than you might think, and since it comes out so fast and stays out so long, you know, just missing the cue on that, it ends in a game, just like we saw. Now Venia already starting off the first game with a very quick 32% conversion off of one opening. Gonna go ahead and sit back once again, throw out those water swords, those blades of Aqua. Take his time. He's not even throwing out shurikens right now. He's just spacing around with this bear.
Yeah, and both of these characters are all about conversions, with certain combo strings lasting longer than many other characters could even hope to achieve. Venia's taking his time, approaching carefully, understanding that his nairs not meeting their mark can spell big grab damage from a character like Ness.
And it's almost similar to that of a character like Marth or Cloud or something, where you just have this one move that's extremely disjointed that you can abuse in a oh wait, no.
Waited, yeah, waited the air dodge, up tilt.
He's going off stage. Oh!
Shadow Sneak, reverse hit, sending BlazingPasta into the blast zone, 79-0. This is not undoable for BlazingPasta, but Venia is definitely sitting on a stack of advantage right here. Not having to approach, and Ness having to catch such a slippery character like Greninja. I mean, BlazingPasta has his work cut out for him.
Everything about this character just screams hard to catch. Even the way he's animated, the way he slides across the floor in his run animation. Everything about this character, and even the way that Venia plays him with his evasiveness and his use of Shadow Sneak, makes it hard for BlazingPasta to know what to do to get in there to finally get this KO.
Yeah, the air acceleration of Ness is, much slower than that of Greninja. So, of course, in the air and on the ground, Venia has all the time and room to move, but just one up air can end it like that. And now it's 0-18, a more or less even game.
Oh, wait. He's going to go for another one. He gets the Shadow Sneak at the top. It's not enough to kill, though.
Wrong side. Had it been the left, we could have seen a situation where BlazingPasta was dying at 57. But now we have 57% unanswered. Venia sitting in a great spot. BlazingPasta is going to have to think about his next move, counting for a lot more than usual. Down throw into up air. Okay. Great read on the DI. Venia escapes with a down air on shield, bounces off. Now we're sitting at 26-59. Venia staying safe with his drifting forward airs and pivot grabs.
He's taking his time here. There we go, another forward air, throw out a shuriken, gonna space out another. He's just even throwing him out. Even if BlazingPasta isn't there, he just takes the time to throw it out, just threaten that he will do it. Tries to go for
Shadow
a Shadow
Sneak again, wrong direction.
Has not worked out for him.
Up air closes it out. No, it doesn't. It might have stalled from before. 106-28. 40% now off stage. Is he going to use PK Thunder 2 to edge guard? He is going to use Nair. Venia responds with an up air, able to drift out of it. Venia missing after the cross up on that up smash. BlazingPasta looking very nice here, escaping death now 3 times.
There's only so many times you can cheat death. It's getting to that point where it's looking so hard.
And the conditioning here we're seeing now in the water shuriken. Is it going to send out a full one, a small one, a medium one? Venia's mixing it up on BlazingPasta's shield.
BlazingPasta's too scared to commit to a PSI magnet. Knows that the one time you have to go for it could be the one moment.
PK Thunder 2 into back throw. That is one back throw now, potentially staling the move.
And he's looking for an up air. He gets the air dodge.
Very great pivot grab.
Ooh,
off stage now. Hydro Pump is a threat. This is the time to get it.
Got
and he got him off the stage. Again, we're talking about those very wacky. So he got sent under the stage a little bit more. And then the way that PK Thunder 2 clicked, it actually sent him over the edge where he would have hit it normally. Now he overshot it. That was incredible play by Venia. BlazingPasta has to hand it to him. I mean, that level of awareness is what closes games out like that.
Right, like